like to call this meeting to order. Mr. Ford, give us a presentation.
Shall we pray? Dear Heavenly Father, we love grateful hearts for all you do for us on a daily basis. God, we know there are challenges in life and struggles and trials we must go through. But God, we know that at the end of the day, you are with us through every turn, every mountain, every valley. God, we ask for wisdom for this group tonight as it endeavors to lead the city forward for you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here.
Alderman Phillips.
Here.
Alderman Weaver.
Here.
Alderman Crockett.
Here.
Alderman Walker.
Here.
Alderman Fair. Alderman Benjamin.
Here.
City Administrator Asbury.
Here.
Attorney Winfrey. Superintendent Kenny, I'm here. You have a forum.
Thank you, sir. Consent agenda items, you should have 2 claims reports. Neither one are extremely big. And then the minutes from the last meeting. Questions, concerns?
I have a couple of questions, only because I haven't seen bid requests come out for a couple items that are kind of big on there.
Which ones?
Raise, for EACC, 7950, 7,950. Steve, can you?
You mean on the animal shelter? Yes, that was, we already had that bid out. We
You
just,
did?
yep,
Oh, I missed that.
that was back in, when we did the budget for last year.
That's the animal shelter.
That's when we put it, budgeted, that's how we got the budget numbers.
And how about the hydrant? Do we have to put a bid out on those, don't we?
No, that was, our committee, we had $32,000 to spend.
I know, but no, we still have to put a bid out for them, since it's over 5,000.
We got quotes from all different companies and put it in with the package.
So is that the one that you're trying to match what we have now?
Yes, we're,
I think that was the deal, that they were trying to repair what they have now, right?
Yeah, we looked into it because it was a replacement for existing, we didn't have to do that.
And we wanted to make sure we spent that budgeted amount because several hydrants need replaced and we want to make sure we have enough.
I'm all for spending, I just,
Good question. Good questions.
bids.
Anything else?
Make a motion to approve the notes and pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Citizens participation, Michael is not here. Lori?
No, I'm good.
Oh, all right,
Thank you,
Lori,
Roland.
Keystone. Sorry.
That was okay. Good evening. Lori Kiso, 221 West 8th Street. I have a couple things I would like to talk to you about. First of all, I want to thank you for having the public work session the other night. I know probably there weren't a lot of things that were accomplished, but you all did what you're supposed to do and you heard from the citizens of this town. And I think that was great. I learned a lot from that. I think it was wonderful. The second thing is I wanted to know if you'd come up with any new ways to inform the citizens of something like the boil water order and fluorination. I know I wasn't in town the other day, but I heard it did something over the tornado siren.
Didn't work very well.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I saw on the old Facebook. So I wondered if you had come up with anything else for that, or if you're still working on it.
We are working on it, I mean, we learned that there are definitely ways for us to improve, getting the word out there, communicating. And one of the things that we didn't do that we should have done, and I spoke with the city hall staff about this, and I'm just as much to blame as anyone else is, but we use Front Desk for our utility billing. Those people who have automatic payments, we can communicate with our customers through that, and we did not do that. And so that was definitely something that we should have used that we just didn't think about. Like I said, we've already talked about it, and we know that if God forbid, something like this were to happen again, that would be a great way to get the word out. to our digital users. Now, unfortunately, that still covers the digital users, who probably are gonna fall into the category of Facebook users, you know,
Correct.
online media, things like that. And so it doesn't help us, as much as, you know, door-to-door, things like that. You know, there are things that we could do to that, and we talked about that as well, so.
And I'm not sure, but I think the fire chief has a crisis communications plan, don't you? And probably that's something that we could use. I know when I was an alderman in the 1990s, we had all sorts of reference books and information that probably are still sitting on the shelf and have never been opened. But some of those resources are good to use. The other,
Real quick, Lori, just to add to, I did get an email, we got an email from one of our residents of our ward about potentially partnering with the organizations that are in our community to help spread the words. So I'm not sure if that's something we already do, but just thought I'd throw that out there since we're kind of talking about this.
Okay.
and the other question I have is about the hole in front of Sportsman's Bar. I saw that the other day. And I thought, ooh, that's something new and different. So thank you for your.
What do you wanna know?
I wanna know what it was and what happened.
It's an old culvert that's no longer used. I won't speak for Steve because he's the one that has to deal with fixing it. But it's an old culvert that is no longer used, storm drain. That when they put the new one in, they left the other one and didn't fill it completely. So it's collapsed, and it's collapsed a long way. He's gonna talk about a little bit how much it's gonna cost to fill it in.
Well, all the signage and everything in front of it was spot on. I know that the safety people that I knew, that I've worked with in the past, would probably say, they did a great job with that, so.
It's really
kudos for
scary.
that.
That was-
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
Anyone else? If not, we'll go on to old business. 2026 budget. Do you want to speak about that? Chief Kidwell?
Chief Kidwell, this is gonna be regarding the consoles that we're going to need to go ahead and add to this year's budget. So I'll go ahead and talk about what we did for this year's budget, and then I'll let you go ahead and go. So, as you all know, for the 2026 budget, we added consoles for communications. We are in need of 2. And so we budgeted, hoping that we could get by with getting 1 this year and 1 next year. We went ahead and made that budget with the plan that we would go ahead and put the next one on next year's budget. At the very end of 2025, one of those went down, and so we were hoping that we could push that purchase to about September, October. It pushed it to right away. And so we had a plan for that, so this is a partially budgeted item, but Chief Kidwell, if you could go ahead and explain what happened next.
We ordered it, and when we ordered it, the bid went to 105 to 165 because of parts and labor. It's my fault because we didn't reach out to communicate with the distributor. We just got the bid in half. And it went from 105 to 165 with parts and labor and installation, and it's 205 just to get them both.
Okay, so one of them is gone, right? One of them
Is no longer in dispatch. It was running on rubber bands
And Holly stated that you can't use them together, so you can either use one of them
I can't
or
use,
the other
we
one.
can't use the antiquated one that we got from Montgomery County in 2002. That was already used with the new system. It's just too old.
So essentially what he's asking is rather than putting one on this year's budget and one on next year's budget, in order to do this the proper way and have 2 working systems, and basically be able to have 2 employees working at one time, because if you don't have both systems, then you basically are down to 1 employee at one time, is to go ahead and purchase both of them this year, and then that will be $105,000 that won't be on the capital outlay budget for 2027.
Please.
Do we have time to add it to this?
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I mean,
We have to.
Well, honestly, y'all can say no. I mean, they're working off of a handheld on one of the stations now. It's kind of intermittent.
Yeah, but.
Being honest,
Risk though, right?
I'm sorry?
That opens us up to site risk if they're trying to operate.
Well, I
like that.
mean,
No.
the thing about it is if we have an incident, police, talks to one person, fire talks to one person, so that we're not cross-contaminating communication. Randy and I can be standing at the back of the EMA vehicle, and we can carry out our conversations like this, but if you get 5 cops talking on frequency, and he has all of his volunteers, like Inloaf's fire, you have all of that, that's just too much on one frequency for any person to keep track of. If you have one handling us, one handling the fire and emergency response, it just makes it so much easier, and so much easier to keep people safe. And, you know, I mean, that's why we put the handheld up there, so we can communicate.
So we've got 3 quotes. The first one is $171,000.
That was
Right.
for one.
That's for one.
Correct.
Have we already got that one in?
No.
Okay.
We stopped because of the air cost.
Okay, so we expected 100 and what?
105 is what it was budgeted for.
So it's basically gonna be double that, cause they're gonna do the 207 to get both of them. I don't know that we have a choice.
Which is essentially, we're gonna be spending the same over 2
2
years,
we're
we're
gonna
just
spend
spending,
earlier.
But we're
Yeah.
saving $6,000, I mean,
hopefully,
if
there's
we,
no more surprises.
Yeah, if we do it once on
if
the
we
labor.
just do it once.
Yeah, I don't know that we have a choice.
How soon can it get here?
The turnaround length, I mean, it wasn't very long, but basically waiting for this meeting is what has been the holdup to get permission to do it.
I mean, my opinion is this is a safety issue. We're gonna spend the money anyway, so I feel like if there's a way in the budget we can move forward with this, with purchasing both at once, just biting the bullet, we should. So that would be my suggestion to the board.
I agree. Sounds like a motion.
I make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Okay, so we'll have to bring that back with an amended budget next time, right?
Yes, I'm planning on bringing the 2026 amended budget next meeting.
Can I go ahead and order it up, Trevor?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Right. Okay, iWorks contract extension, decision. We've gotta make a decision. This is what we've been talking about before. Animals, do we want to do the 1 year or the 3 year?
So, for this one, did we change, did we talk about the language at all, did that clarify? Because I
Yes.
think that was the issue for 3-year one, right?
So, the part about all the fees that would come due, what that is it's a 3-year contract. We renew it every year, so after year 1, we vote not to renew, we gotta buy out the rest of the 3-year contract.
Except for that, it won't let you find us future awards, but.
But it's the
They are
same
not adding
cost.
back on, yes, they're not gonna add back on the installation costs that they're waiving if we do a 3-year. But we would have to, they should pay out the other 2 years one if we cancel after a year.
So basically our options are have an agreement for a year
With installation costs.
with installation costs, $500
Yeah, which is one of the
total,
years
or
paid
have it
basically.
in a 3-year system for the same exact amount of money, with the caveat being if we don't love it and we cancel it,
So we have to buy out. the
we
rest
have to
of the
buy it
contract.
out. Which in my opinion, we just wouldn't buy it out, we'd just leave it alone for
Right.
3 years, not spend any more money.
Right.
So it seems silly to me not to go with a longer contract for the same cost.
No, I agree with that, I agree with the 3-year one. Save the installation costs.
So
Well, I would like though, going with this project though, as we get up and implement it, just to see what we get return on investment wise. I think that'll be important to monitor that piece of the program, because I know we don't love the program we already have that we have with the city, so it'll be just something that would be good to see, just keep passing on, like, oh, this is what we did, this is what was return on investment.
plus, would it not give the staff a chance to use that a little bit? If you wanna do a different system down the road, you would be a little familiar with this, correct?
Yes.
So are you making a motion to accept
I
the
make a
third?
motion to accept the 3-year contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. That will also come back for the budget again next time. Staff updates. Chief Vernon?
We've recently got a grant through MoDOT through the Miller County, the entire fire departments in Miller County for what they call a HOS system. These systems mounted They're currently mounted in all of our fire trucks, and what they do is alert traffic that there is an emergency vehicle approaching, or, the people in their vehicle can see it through their console on their vehicle. But, this, there's other ways of utilizing the HOT system. It was all free through MoDOT, and it's too early to say, but we're still playing with it a little bit to see if there's possibly some way we can do an emergency announcement or something through it. So, but anyway, we've got them installed in our trucks, so if you see it flash up on your screen on your car, get out of the way.
Are you the disaster resource management officer? Whatever that is. So, in that position, what is the protocol in place for notification of the citizenry in the event of a disaster?
Probably one of the biggest things, that's why we have the speaker system on the new tornado sirens, and I'd like to get a couple more too, but they're like $35,000 a piece now, so that may be something down the road we can work on. Once grants in the state become available. But probably one of the biggest things we've had, and it's still in our, when cable TV was still here in town. Everybody remembers, that's been, 15 years ago, remembers them breaking in on your TV and they say this is an announcement, there's a tornado warning in the city, or that was one of our biggest, probably best announcement, way of getting a hold of everybody. But right now there's, just the TV stations, the radio stations, that's probably the next in line as far as broadcast.
How do people do Amber Alerts? Why can't we do that?
That's through the state, highway patrol. And I'm not quite sure that we're working on it in Miller County. We're working on trying to do something to that effect. But it's a process that, there again, maybe through the new consoles we get, once we get them, that may be a way we can send out an alert similar to that.
I thought the community as a whole was very understanding in our recent event of the boil order. However, the consistent concern that I got from everybody was the lack of communication and lack of notification.
The only capability dispatch has is the paging system for, the weather alerts and stuff like that. I mean, right now, other than the storm sirens and stuff, we have the texting system, and that's all we have. But it's, I guess, to a point, it's kind of like
Based on my experience and the people that have come forward to talk to me, someone notifying them of that process and what is going on and what protocols are in place and what they can do. For example, a lot of people didn't know they could get texting from the city. Okay. And I think building a better and more open and easily accessible system of communication between the city and the citizenry is helpful for everybody. Because everybody in this situation worked really hard and did a very good job. And I think most of our citizens acknowledge that and appreciate that. But that's the one place where we really need to step up our game.
our texting
Be
system
better at
now
communicating.
through the city is probably the next best
thing to the Amber Alert type. Anything we may not be able to do is an alert through that, but it will pop up on.
Can you build off the texting part of it, like, kinda like Republic, like all your customers and all, cause you have that base, so like do the automated call, cause that'd be your other.
So here's the issue with that. So many of our utility customers have been in their addresses for years and years and years. When they signed up, they had landlines, and a lot of people, and you can't text a landline, but we also don't have updated phone information. And so the best way to get that information out is through the texting system. Just like, you know, we had a lot of people that were like, well, why didn't you send out a mass email? Well, we don't have everybody's email addresses in the city, and so I think it's important that, you know, I know just being in City Hall throughout the last 3 weeks, anytime someone called with questions, I think that the people who work at City Hall were really good about saying, hey, did you know that we have a text alert system? And you know, the number of people that have increased with the number of text messages that are sent out is tremendous. But you know, that is a system that's directly through our website. It's free, and so when you have that compared to, you know, a robocall or even a different type of message that goes out, you know, I think financially we're doing the smartest decision right now because, you know, what we have we're already paying for through our website services, and so it's just a matter of getting the word out. You know, we've tried to post it. Like I said, the City Hall employees are telling people when they call. I don't know what else to do just because there's so much information and like phone numbers and emails that we just don't have because people have had their accounts for so many years.
It's a complex problem, and it's a complex problem for a bunch of different reasons. If you're gone for a week and you come back and you didn't know what was going on, the odds of somebody telling you like you're on vacation and coming back are probably pretty slim. Yeah. So if we do the loudspeakers out and about in town and you're not there, you might not get it. If we do the text and you got your phone off, maybe you don't get the text or you don't want the text. I don't want the text, to be quite honest, because you guys call me when something's going on anyway. But I don't want them. I don't want them on my phone, so I wouldn't have heard it that way. I think we got to hit people a ton of different ways, 3 or 4 times. That's what I've learned from this situation is 3 or 4 things is not probably enough. 5 or 6 is probably better. Maybe up to 10 different ways we've got to try to hit them. And I'm not saying it's going to be perfect ever because I don't know that it will unless everybody goes over and tells their neighbor, and the next person tells their neighbor when they see their neighbor. That's about the best way to do it. A lady in my neighborhood tell me that she didn't know about it for 3 days, felt horrible about it. So,
well, at the end of the day too, like I said, you can do multiple ways. I mean, you can do the texting, the phone, but at the same time, like you just said, you can do stuff like back in the day with TV, but once again, you don't have any of those options. What are you left with?
Yeah, and that's part of the problem is that was the one thing where I think we had a hard time because we tried what we thought was the best way to get it out there. And I'm not saying we failed because we did get it out to a lot of people, but we missed a lot of people. There were a lot of people that we missed that were living in town. A lot of people outside of town had no idea what was going on either because they weren't on the system at all. We're asking what's going on in Eldon, and they didn't know. I don't know if they read Facebook. If they read Facebook, then they knew everything that we knew.
Mandy, in our office, is there a way to run a report of names and addresses of our current customers and phone numbers?
I'm sorry?
Is there a way to pull information out as far as a list, like our name, address, and
For
phone
utility
number?
customers? I'm sure there is, yeah.
There is.
I mean,
It's both, yeah, we can do.
Just
I'd be
what they
more than
signed
happy
up
to
for.
start cold calling people, see if they have.
Well, but that's it. That we don't have a lot of phone numbers.
Well, I know, but if we didn't, then we could maybe go door to door and get things updated.
And that's fine.
Because it would help you guys out.
Not for nothing, but we're the government, and I'm pretty sure people aren't going to give us a phone.
Well,
I'm being honest.
if
There
they
are
want
people
your
that don't want you to have
information,
it.
it's so important to them.
Oh, well crafted.
I mean, I'm good with trying it. We should try it, especially right now. I mean, if we're gonna do it, we can do it now. It's fresh in people's mind because.
Or send out
I mean, this is
notice
also-
with update your information.
That's not a bad idea. On the
This
next
is a
bill,
reminder, like, due to the recent
Yeah.
activity,
it's a good idea.
please make sure you have the most current phone number on your
That's
account.
one thing we did at my job, is we always put something out, do we have your correct information?
Yeah.
And you can put it in the newspaper, you can put it on the bills, you can call City Hall, the people up there could say, hey, do we have your correct email address and phone number? It works really well. That way the people who want to give that to you will give it to you.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what ends up happening, you know, with the co-op, at the end of the co-op, whenever you get rid of stuff, there's still a long list of names in the newspaper. People didn't give you their stuff. So Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great idea. We
Well,
should
then
try it
they can't be
and see what
mad.
happens. The worst that happens is we get.
If they don't give you their input, they have no reason to be mad.
Yes. Yeah. Anything else? Where are we at now? We've already done that piece of it, right? We've already voted for that. Chief Kidwell, anything else you've got? Steve, you wanna talk about the whole?
Well, just to give you a quick update on the chlorine, that all went well. We got all the chlorine, we met the residual, and now we're flushing out the system. So everything went well and smooth, so that's all been,
I'm not smelling it anymore.
yeah, well, we're already flushing the system, so it should be passing through.
All-nighter Thursday got us in and out.
Yeah, we, guys worked really hard and long hours, so. The Seco is actually an old storm drain. It runs up by the edge of the highway right there in front of Chelsea Motors. It collapsed. I got the call from communication about 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Met the officers. We evaluated, we secured the area. Then we went on, we had to do emergency hiring of rays to start ripping it out with their bigger machine. It is from right there in Sportsman's, plumb to the middle of GT's parking lot, was not filled in. It's got big voids in it, it's very dangerous. I'm asking the board, it's gonna be around $100,000 to get this fixed right, but that's the only safe thing we can do. It's gotta be ripped out, filled in with rock, rolled back and concrete. Because if we do half of it, I can't guarantee when the other half's gonna fall in.
Where does it go?
It goes from right there, just right off the corner of Sportsman's Bar's property. There's a grate where they went through with the new storm system back in the 80s and went back around backside towards Bishop's and turned towards the drainage ditch where the old one went straight across in front of GT's where the old Phillips 66 was. And it is still, they never filled it in from right there Sportsman's all the way to about the middle of GT's. The rest of it's been filled in.
So Steve, if I'm hearing you right, this was done in the '80s?
As far as I know,
Okay. So it wasn't something we just did?
no,
We just
the
did-
storm drain's probably been there a lot longer than that. I'm just going off about what the records show when they started updating the back storm drain. So I have no idea exactly when that old storm drain was put in. It was way before my time.
There's nothing left of it too, just so you know, it's toast, it's
Yes.
gone.
It's,
So, how I stand on this issue is we need to fix it right. Like, the reason why we have this in the first place is because it was done right in the first place. So,
Correct.
I'm all for fixing it right. I know it costs us more money, but if we don't spend the money now.
We have to, it's another have to thing.
How many bids did you get?
I didn't get any
It's
bids, it's
emergency.
emergency.
You don't have to bid out an emergency, you have to get it done. I mean, I don't know if you went and drove by there, Laura, but that
I
whole.
have. I drive by it every day. I think you need other bids.
So wait on bids and risk somebody getting hurt?
Yeah, you put up.
So you're waiting
emergency
somebody
quotes.
getting hurt?
I can name
That
off
makes
a dozen
sense.
contractors that can get you bids tomorrow.
So the bid process, in order
How
to
do you
do,
know it's gonna cost $100,000?
so in order to do the bid process, we
price
have to put
concrete?
it out for 2 weeks and then wait for the bids to come back.
I
and
work
then
with
open them in 2
builders and
weeks.
developers every day. I do know what concrete work costs.
Okay, I,
We build roads,
I'll let
driveways.
you be quiet for 5 seconds, let them talk.
okay.
That's your problem with your city.
So the bid process takes at least 2 weeks. If we put it out for bid, we have to put it out for 2 weeks. And then we have to wait and open those bids whenever they come back. They have to be sealed bids for whenever it does it. There's an emergency clause for things like this that we don't have 2 weeks to wait for. My opinion is I don't think we have 2 weeks to wait for it. Because if it collapses in GT Motors parking lot and that whole thing falls in, I don't think
Why
we
do
have
you
a
know
choice.
it's gonna cost $100,000?
It's an estimate.
From who?
It's from numbers that we've got for what we've done so far. If it averages the way we're going, that's what the numbers we're coming up with.
From other
From
previous
other
jobs,
projects that
bid
we've had,
projects
that-
that have been,
We've
they've gone
replaced storm drains before, so we have a gap in
Yeah,
there.
this
When
was
was the
just
last
filling.
time?
We're
The last
on
one?
one right now.
Currently,
On
yeah.
First Street.
First Street,
Right in front of the school.
current.
We're in the middle of it.
How do you know it's not gonna cost more?
Well, it's an estimate.
It usually does.
That's what an estimate is.
I mean, it
guess.
usually does.
This one's more straightforward than the others because it's just filling it in and then covering it up. The reason that the one on First Street costs more is because we found a gas line that we didn't know was there. We had to have Aaron remove that gas line whenever they did it. I mean, I can't guarantee it's gonna be $100,000. I can't guarantee it's gonna be, not be 200,000. If we get in there and it keeps opening up and it's open all the way the other way under Sportsman's Bar, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel comfortable waiting at least 2 weeks. I don't know what the board feels comfortable with.
I don't feel comfortable waiting.
I don't either.
I mean, we could rope it off like we did Third Street for months and months trying to figure that out, but I'm not comfortable with that. I understand where you're coming from, and getting bids is important. I mean, that's why.
I mean, if it was your house, you'd get a bid.
I mean, we can have 100 weeks and then somebody gets hurt and then the city gets sued. Is that what you want?
They're concrete barriers, you put them up for parades and.
You think everybody listens to
But
barricades?
it's on the other side too, we can't take away GP's parking lot, that's how they do business.
You know how many people listen to the barricades around here?
I almost got hit.
Not a damn person around
So
this
from a
town listens
budget
to barricades.
standpoint, we do have storm drains budgeted for 2026. And so that is something that we knew that we were gonna have some issues coming up. So we do have those budgeted for 2026. Now, this is obviously gonna take up a pretty good portion of what we have budgeted for the year. So this is not necessarily something that we have to increase the budget for. It's just something that is going to be taking up a really good chunk of what we have in 2026.
I make a motion to move forward and get the repairs made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All
Thank you.
opposed? Which passes. Anything else you got, Steve?
No.
Evan, can you go ahead and give updates on the First Street storm drain project and the Countryside water main improvements?
As of today with First Street, they've started pouring boxes 4 and 5. Those are the ones right in front of the school. From what I've seen, Clay Beasley's been the one that's out there for the time being. And from what I've seen, there's been no issues with the gas line right now. So fingers crossed it stays that way.
Are we gonna have to kill the gas to the school at all?
Shouldn't have to. I hope not, but
Okay.
that'd be a stock question more than me, I guess.
Okay.
But that project's running fine for now. Countryside Estates has been having problems. I'm sure Steve's mentioned it. They've hit the water line a couple of times. But today, no problems. They've tied into both bores already that were already existing. Their hope is next week to finally have connected those and tested for the first time. So they're starting on Sunnyview Circle as of tomorrow. They've teed it off and are ready to go in any direction from that pole.
Okay.
So.
What's the timeline on both of those projects?
With First Street, it's up in the air. I'm not 100% sure. As long as things keep running this way, I don't see it being more than another month or two. That'd be my guess, but it's not 100%. The water line project is taking a bit longer. They've ran into some sandstone materials and it's been causing problems. They don't get a ton done each day, but as long as they can avoid some of that, which I'm hoping they do since it's under the roadway now, it shouldn't be but a couple more months as well. They hopefully will finish on time.
Okay.
I think their original contract end date was April something. I think it was April 14th.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I'd have to go back and look, but
Sure.
right now I can say that they're on that schedule.
Okay.
Any questions, those two projects for me?
I have a question.
Yeah.
On First Street, you're the guy doing all this over there, I guess, or in charge of it?
Engineer.
Okay, I have a question of why the gutter pan is so much lower than the street.
The gutter pan, it looks lower than the street. When they tie back in, that street has an awkward crown to it where it crowns on the street is wider than 24 feet to start, but it crowns more if you're looking towards Highway C, I guess is what that is. If you're looking towards Highway CC, the crown of the road is really far off to the right. Whenever they go back to mill and fill that, which they're gonna do concrete instead of asphalt, which is better, they'll even it out so that way it doesn't actually look like it's sticking up that much.
I'm more concerned with snow plows, trying to plow all that, pushing all the snow right in there and creating a huge snow drift.
Concerns with when games are going on and people are trying to get in and out of their driveways, dragging their rear ends all the way down through there, all kinds of issues that this is gonna lead to. I'm concerned with why we decided we're lowering the street versus raising the gutter pan.
I don't really have much to respond to that with. All I know for certain is that whenever they started building the gutter pan, they had a string line that was going down it, and it was marked the same as what the staking was. So I'll go back and look and check to make sure that they had followed the plans originally as they were set. But as far as we're aware, they have.
And if they're not?
Scott and then they're gonna have to redo it. But Scott and I have went out there and looked at it, and we didn't see an issue with it either.
Question, so whenever you go to mill it and fill it, will the street be lower than it is currently?
Shouldn't be. It should just be, well, no, I guess it won't. It would be a little bit higher, probably. Maybe. I really don't know, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It's gonna be kind of up to the contractor to line it up, more or less. It's one of those things that, you guys are making me second guess myself, because it's been a minute since I checked the plans, but I think it goes back in at the same, actually, and the gutter pan just looks high for the time being because some of the street is missing. Now that
Can you check into this, all these
Yes,
questions with Scott?
Yes,
And
I
have
will.
Scott or yourself get back with us, so
I
we
will
can
have
make sure that because, Jesse's asking these questions, but they've been asked of me and various people, and so these are questions that people have, and so
Yeah.
we would like to be able to get those answers, and like I said, here's, you know, ultimately Scott's the one that needs to be answering these questions, so.
Well,
Of course, and
Sorry, I still intend to have you and him both at our next street meeting, but
Okay.
boil orders and holidays, so we're due for one. So.
Anything else? David?
Well, we have the open filing period and we have no challengers. Everybody that is currently here is the one running again.
So we don't have to have an election, correct?
It doesn't work that way, but we do still have to vote.
Okay. New business, bill number 1/2026. This is SRO officer. None of this has changed from last year, correct?
No, it's been a couple of years since we have updated this, and so we just wanted to make sure that it was up to date. Went through it and looked through it. Our attorneys looked at it, the school's attorneys looked at it, and so we're all in agreement. The amount that the city pays the school is still $15,000. It's been that for a while. For those of you that don't know, the school pays Officer Hines his salary, and the city reimburses the school a total of $15,000 to help pay that salary.
I have a question.
Okay.
Does each resource officer have a vehicle?
We only have one resource officer, and yes, he has a vehicle.
Oh, so only one goes to all the schools?
Yes.
And who pays for the vehicle?
The city does.
That's in the agreement. We
He's
pay.
also an officer for the city.
He is.
Yes,
He also does
yes.
other things as well. But the school pays for his benefits and his salary, and then we pay for $15,000 and his equipment. Right, Chief Kidwell? Not his.
I cover all of his expenses for, like, all of his benefit packages and salaries, retirement and everything is done by the school. We give him a car, uniform,
Training.
and the equipment that he needs.
And he also works for the city?
Yes, he comes into the office every morning.
It's a good deal for us.
You guys are retired from the highway patrol, right?
He types his reports at the office, he handles anything that has to do with the vehicle. He handles it during the summer, he works the road with us, he works events with us, he's awesome.
That's great. I'm glad we have that.
Any questions?
No, I make a motion to put ordinance number, you have one? 1/2026 on the first reading as the clerk read by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Bill number 1-2026, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement between the city of Eldon, Missouri and the Eldon R1 School District.
I make a motion to suspend the rules and put ordinance number 1/2026 on its second and final reading, ask the city clerk to read by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Bill number 1-2026, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement between the city of Eldon, Missouri and the Eldon R1 School District. Alderman Phillips.
Yes.
Alderman Weeberry.
Yes.
Alderman Crockett.
Aye.
Alderman Walker.
Yes.
Alderman Fair.
Yep.
Alderman Benjamin.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, you have enough ayes and passage and approval.
Now declare bill number 1/2026 to be ordinance 1/2026. Okay, bill number 2. This is the contract with Highworks. This is the 3-year contract. Any discussion? I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to put ordinance number 2-2026 on its first reading and ask the city clerk to read it by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Bill number 2-2026, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement between the city of Eldon, Missouri and iWork System Inc.
I make a motion to suspend the rules and put ordinance number 2-2026 on its second and final reading and ask the city clerk to read it by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Bill number 2-2026, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement between the city of Eldon, Missouri and iWork System Inc. Alderman Phillips.
Yes.
Alderman Weeberry. All right, Alderman Crockett.
Aye.
Alderman Walker.
Yes.
Alderman Fair.
Yep.
Alderman Benjamin.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, you have enough ayes and passage and approval.
I declare bill number 2/2026 to be ordinance 2/2026. The next one is a pay application. And this is for First Street Storm, Sewer, and this is for $97,650. Questions on this one? This is at least a $400,000 project. We've already had one change order for $32,000 plus.
I make a motion to put ordinance number 2/2026 on its first reading, ask the clerk to read by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Bill number 3-2026, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and city clerk to execute payment application number 2, agreement between the city of Eldon, Missouri and BMP Patterson LLC.
I make a motion to suspend the rules and put ordinance number 3/2026 on its final reading, ask the city clerk to read by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Bill number 3-2026, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor and city clerk to execute payment application number 2, agreement between the city of Eldon, Missouri and BMP Patterson LLC. Alderman Phillips.
Yes.
Alderman Weeberry. Alderman Crockett.
Aye.
Alderman Walker.
Yes.
Alderman Fair.
Yep.
Alderman Benjamin.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, you have enough ayes and passage and approval.
I declare bill number 3/2026 to be ordinance 3/2026. Okay, bill number 4 is a lot split on 4th Street. The individual that's asking for this is going to build, is it 8 houses? Do I remember that?
You're correct.
8 houses, and then there will be one lot at the end that
That's
doesn't,
correct.
is an odd shape that won't be built on. So there's gonna be 9 lots when all this is done, if I remember right. Any questions on this one?
And all of these lots are a size that allows, they don't go against our codes, correct, Arlene?
Except for one, the last
This
one's
is
an
just
odd
for the
shape.
lot split.
Right.
The
Yeah.
codes, you guys, they
Right.
gotta go through.
There's one that's an odd shape. Other questions, concerns?
Make a motion to put ordinance 4-2026 on its first reading and ask the city clerk to read it by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Bill number 4-2026, an ordinance approving the lot split at the end of 4th Street as authorized by section 405.320 of the municipal code of the city of Eldon, Missouri.
I make a motion to suspend the rules and put ordinance 4-2026 on its second and final reading and ask the city clerk to read it by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Bill number 4-2026, an ordinance approving the lot split at the end of Fourth Street as authorized by section 405.320 of the municipal code of the city of Elton, Missouri. Alderman Phillips.
Yes.
Alderman Weaver. Alderman Crockett.
Aye.
Alderman Walker.
Yes.
Alderman Fair.
Yeah.
Alderman Benjamin.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, you have ayes and passage in full.
Now declare bill number 4/2026 to be ordinance 4/2026. Yeah, I don't really have much business. Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, we can talk. So you guys all received my packet. I will go ahead and go over some financials with you. I've given the department heads until January 20th to get their final invoices for 2025 in. After that, that's the cutoff, and so the next board meeting, we will go ahead and amend the 2025 budget to match what we did for auditing purposes. And then because we have those two issues that we talked about earlier, you'll have the final 2026 budget for approval, and then you'll get your hard copies for that as well.
Did you say the 20th?
The 20th is when
The cutoff date?
the cutoff date for the department heads, yes.
Thank you.
So as far as the airport goes, I'll start with that. So we were hoping to have all of our grant money in for the airport project by the end of last year. The federal shutdown did not help that cause, and so we have started receiving some of those funds, but we did not receive all of them back. So if you remember that was a project that is 95% funded by grants, 5% of that was going to come out of the city's pocket on that. So once we recoup that grant money, the airport fund will start looking much better. Other than that, did you all have any questions on anything that I sent out?
Sales tax is up again. Looks like
Sales
that's
tax is
good.
up, we're started the year over plan, so that's always a good sign.
Have there been any movement on the positions that are posted?
Yes, we have hired 4 public works employees.
We hired 2 right now. We got 4 more interviews tomorrow.
Okay. Yes, our Parks and Rec program supervisor, or specialist started at the best possible time, right before Christmas, right during the boil order, so she learned a lot really fast, about City Hall and everything like that, so that was good, but, we met with the Parks and Rec director at California today, and she went over a lot and learned a lot about, the baseball, softball season and soccer and everything like that. So that was definitely a positive. Other than that, yeah, we're just conducting interviews and moving forward with those positions. So I think I don't remember the total number that we had, but
I think there were 8, were there not? Codes
we've had some movement because we did have some people who left positions, and so it kind of is a moving scale.
Perfect.
Are you part of those interviews?
I'm sorry?
Are you a part of those interviews?
Most of them, yes. Yep, most of them, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, any other questions for me?
Aldermen, Alderwomen? Anything?
I have a question going back to the G-Works. Someone asked me, how does a resident know that they need a dog or tag for their pet?
It's an ordinance, just like
I
every
know,
other
but if
law.
they don't go and search for the ordinance, how do we tell people that they need to license their pet? Do we have something that's included when they sign up for water service? Or how do we inform them? Because I know we have a lot of pets in this town, and I know she's not getting the money for it.
No, I know. I mean, we saw that pretty easily.
Whenever someone signs up for water, do we give them something whenever they're done?
It says still, we do not inform them.
Say
Most of the time it's word of mouth, or if their dog gets out and they come to reclaim the
Do
dog.
we give them some sort of anything after they sign up, other than a receipt that they paid for that?
We give them the information for signing up for the online service for the water bills, but we do not.
And for the
give them
utility- and for the
anything else.
utilities.
Can we add that at the bottom of it?
Yeah, we can definitely give them another page with that. So that-
With the iWork system, we will be able to have a template printed off to where they can pass that out at City Hall, yes.
I think that's a good idea. The only problem with that is that most of our water people don't change over, and they've been there for 50 years, so.
And I do know Kaylin was talking about, she was working with the local vets and things, and they'd be able to put a QR code up, you said?
Yes,
So
that
way
is
when they take
correct.
their pets to the vets
I
around
spoke
here,
with the
they'll see
local veterinary clinic here in town, and she's already approved for me to hang a flyer up in the office area and, so that they can see that and go to the link. And she's also offered, if we're okay with it, to share that link, and they would have it on their webpage also to be able to update it through there.
Do you have any contact with any Lake vets also?
No, I do not, because they aren't in Eldon.
I know a lot of people doesn't go to the link.
So,
Yes.
Is it on our Facebook page?
Well, we don't have it on our Facebook page because we just approved it tonight, but we should be able to, we
Yes.
would definitely put that on our Facebook page on the QR code, and I'm sure that the iWork system has some
Flyer,
Facebook
yeah,
templates
flyer that
we
we'll be able to
can
print
use.
out,
Yeah.
and then yes, a link that can be added to our Facebook page, and a link on our website. Yes, the iWork system is going to allow us to be able to put all of that out.
So one of the people I know, their dogs got out, and that's how they found out they needed a license.
I guarantee a lot of people don't know, cause I didn't know.
I know.
I've worked here.
I had a dog for 3 years,
So,
and I didn't
you-
know when I worked for the city.
for the iWork system, you know, if we're able to register the dogs, where you come from, like your location, everything like that, couldn't we like post some time where, hey, for the safety of your dog and making sure you get back, post some time just to have people sign their dogs up, we can have that conversation at the same time. So I'm thinking, you know, for me, my dog's come usually I'll just stay there. But my kids would be very sad, so, maybe it'd be worthwhile to just give people an opportunity, once we have the system up and running, like, hey, come register your animals, so just in case that you get out, you're gonna get it back.
Yeah, I think it's something to talk about once everybody gets familiar with the system and how we use it. I mean, we can even do a Saturday morning sign up or something like
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah, just some kind of.
Yeah.
Even if sometimes we could arrange maybe a clinic to get immunizations, maybe on a grand scale.
Yeah.
Do
So
the
long as
vets
people
cooperate
don't
with
get
telling people this?
Yeah.
ready.
Have a dog perk party for your pets. I have several ideas that, I'm just trying to get the iWork system in place. And then, yes, to go forward with, spreading the word and informing and educating everybody. And if you want to be updated, I will definitely update you on those, Terry, once we get there too.
I don't have any pets. I have friends. I get burned out.
Appreciate your time.
Yes.
I was telling her, I said, what about working with the school PTO, and like when they have their registration in the fall, having information there for the parents? I mean, I realize Eldon School District goes outside the city, but at least they would be one more avenue to.
Yeah, I mean, we can do that. We try to get information out on, our leagues that we have, during the fall. We have our flag football and things like that. And so we do want to make sure that we're not bombarding people with paperwork, because I don't know if you've been to a back to school recently.
Or even
There's a lot of
QR codes, they
paperwork.
could scan the thing and send it up.
Yeah.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed.
Yeah.